All right, guys, it's 5:40 in the morning, and we are going to commute with the 87 Squarebody today. I'm going to drive to the airport, see how it does. See how it does with daily tasks. So I'm going to cold start it and get some driving videos for you guys. Welcome aboard the SS Blue. Gotta fix those dash lights. But yeah, one thing that's really nice about having an LS is it starts right up. It doesn't stink in the morning. I don't have to pump it a few times. Yeah, you can carburate, an LS, or you could fuel inject a 350, but just the way the LS is set up, it's set up just like my other Suburban there, where you just turn the key and go. So yeah, put the old SM465 into first. Already popped the e-brake there, and let's use this thing as a daily driver. See how it does. So it does have pretty bright LED lights. That was an interesting upgrade. It's something you don't think about all the time, but it's definitely nice having good headlights. And as fate would have it, it's pretty warm this morning here in Utah, so I might even run that air conditioning. All right, shifted into second there. So one of the things I noticed yesterday when I was doing a little acceleration pull was that the gears seemed to be a bit longer than I anticipated. I was not really revving this thing out, and again, it has no tack. I will definitely be adding one, but I had one hooked up via Bluetooth. I just have a VPAC Bluetooth adapter for my BMW. You got to have an OBD scanner for a BMW. OBD and BMW are best friends. But yeah, so I had the scanner hooked up, and I was looking down and going, wow, I was only revving it out to like 4,000 when I was accelerating before. So then I revved it out to about 5,200, which I know is safe on a 5.3. According to the specs on this engine, you can rev it out to 65, but I don't really, I'm not really in the business of revving out my small block. So yeah, it turns out that this actually has 342 gears. So I wasn't revving anywhere near as high as I thought I was. And that's it, we're in third. Yeah, see, everyone says the SM465 is a bear to shift and the ratios are terrible. I don't think so. And actually, the longer the gears, the better. With a motor like this that has, a really wide torque band, you really don't miss overdrive. So this having 342s instead of 373s like I originally envisioned means that it was sitting below 3,000 RPM. So right at 80 is 3,000 RPM on these tires. So yeah, that's not bad. I'm still gonna put 33s on it, and when I do that, it'll only be revving at around 2,800 at 80, as opposed to 20. It's even less. It's of a spread than I thought for my NV 4500 and 410s. It's only like a 200 RPM spread, so take that for what it's worth. You know, if you have enough motor, you can get away with longer gearing. Now, I will say, though, the gears are long. You can run off the speedo in second gear. And first gear, you can run out to 45, 50. So it really is a 3-speed. But the way this engine's cammed, would it accelerate quicker with more gears? Yes. Does it need them? No. It did fine. Yeah, just enjoy the sunrise here as we take the beast to the airport. It's doing well, you know. Another interesting thing is it has a cup holder. It's amazing how helpful a cup holder is. AC and a cup holder. What a concept. I really am an American. But yeah, you could drive one of these every day. Don't be afraid of it. And it's actually kind of nice just leaving it in third gear. You know, not having an overdrive, because you don't shift on the highway. It's kind of like having an automatic. You can see the AFR there. It's actually right at around 14.7 where it should be. I am still going to check out the tune. Especially for how aggressive the cam is. I'm amazed at how much you can lug it. Okay, so here is where I miss having more gears. So like here, we're slowing down and we put it into second. But yeah, see, it does fine. If I had a small block, I probably, I don't know, you know, it might have lugged there, you know, because that was probably down to 1,100 RPM. You know, if it was carbureted, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. You get spoiled by fuel injection. It really is that much better at lower RPM and, you know, lugging and cold starting like this. So it's kind of hard to say. But yeah, gotta love everybody in a hurry in the morning. This guy's passing me. I'm going 15 over the speed limit. People are they're just always in a rush. You know, I think maybe that's why I like driving an old square body so much. You're never really in a rush. No matter what, you know, it's just kind of laid back. This thing has an AM FM radio, and that's it, so I'm not distracted by infotainment. I'm just focusing on driving. But yeah. Break in the action here. We'll be back. And we're back. First, second. And we're in third, right at 40 miles an hour. And we're still accelerating great. And that's it. We're up to highway speeds. We're up to 70. No problems. Everything's smooth. And yes, those are still the bugs from when I got it. I need to clean this thing off badly. I'm going to cut and buff it and see what I can do with this paint and all sorts of things, but I just didn't have time. I bought the car, got home late Friday night, had a bunch of honeydews to do Saturday and Sunday, and got to take it to work, you know? Got to take it to work today, which my work usually consists of driving to the airport or driving pretty far every day. So this week we're going to the airport, and we're using the Squarebody. I am trying to decide if I could just get away with driving something like this, or if, you know, the Matrix is necessary. I love the Matrix, but I just don't know if I need a commuter car. I'm testing a theory where I'm commuting with my my other vehicles. I am still using the Matrix for running around. I took it out to the grocery store and to run errands and stuff yesterday, and it was so much fun. But yeah, I'm not necessarily going to sell the Matrix. I just don't know if I need it. But then again, I have 7 vehicles, so if I need it, it's never really been a consideration. But yeah. All right, not much to update here, guys. I'll if I do have anything of note, I'll bring you back online. Otherwise, it's just a boring morning commute. Just figured I'd take YouTube along with me so they could see, you know, what daily driving an 87 SM465 swapped Squarebody is like. It's pretty uneventful. It's like driving a GMT 800 or something with, you know, a bit more road noise and a lot more steering corrections. All right, we are arriving at the airport magically like that due to the magic of editing. No, but yeah, we're pulling into the airport here. This thing did great. Honestly, it rides really nice, and I'm rethinking putting 33s on here. I don't know. Right now it has 265, 75, 16s. And I kind of like where the gearing is at. I may just throw another 265 on here. If anything, I'll put 285, 75s. I also thought about going back to the pizza cutter size, the 235, 85, 16, which this had from the factory. I just like the look of a skinny tire, and honestly it would help with aerodynamics. Plus, they're a little bit better in the snow when the tires are a little bit more narrow. Nobody likes to acknowledge that because everybody wants to, you know, bark hard and look cool, but I think these things look cool the way they are. I don't think you need to really lift them or anything. A lot of guys disagree with me. A lot of guys go pretty crazy, but all right, here's the ultimate test. When I'm getting a ticket at the window here, will it be at the right height? This is really the true test of practicality, the drive-through test. I love crank windows. Let's see. Are we at the right height? We are.
Please scan access card or press the screen for a ticket.
No, the ticket wasn't jammed in there. Oh, there we go. Okay. But yeah, does the LS swapped Square pass the daily driver test? It does. It does. It passes it with flying colors. Blue flying colors. This thing's very blue. If you're not a fan of blue, just turn off the video. I mean, just look at it. Sitting in the parking lot compared to a Honda Pilot. Oh wow, an OR3. Brand new 4Runner. Really, you guys can see my opinions in another video of this one. They're not great. Man, it just has a commanding presence, even over an F-150 behind it, which is bloated and, you know, it's even taller than that. Just something about a square body, you know, there's just something about them. The choppy cam, the old school e-brake. Let's see if I still remember how to park a square body. Yep, that's about perfect. So yeah, we're gonna get in the airport and catch our flight, but yeah, that is daily driving an LS swapped square body. Can you do it? Absolutely. Should you do it? Absolutely. Almost forgot. Gotta lock the doors. But yeah, figured I'd film this. I'm not gonna film another rental review this week, so this was the one chance to drive the Square. So thanks again for watching, and till next time, get out there and drive.